Hey, it's Mark Leonard with your video thought for the day. Well, this week I'm looking at valleys, and I love for my video thoughts to be uplifting, powerful, interesting. I'm not saying that they're any of those things, understand. I'm just saying that's the aspirational goal in my head. I'd like them to be something that you actually listen to. Um, Maybe even pay attention, maybe even motivate you. And so I always try to pick passages that are good insight passages or passages that are nice reflections upon the God that I love so dearly. I want to show his best face. And I tend to shy away from those passages that are a little bit more troublesome or a little bit more challenging. But I've decided today I need to tackle one of those. So, talking about valleys, today I want to talk about the valley of Achor. It's spoken of in Joshua chapter 7. And it's a really difficult passage because God has given Israel instructions of how to conquer the promised land. And those instructions include telling all of the Canaanites, if you stay in this city, if you stay in this place, we're going to destroy you. And so the Canaanites would either flee or capitulate or stand and fight and be destroyed. But God said not at certain places, not to keep any of the booty, if you will. The purpose of the destruction was not for Israel's soldiers or people to enrich themselves. They're simply trying to set up the kingdom as not kingdom, but the land as God perceives it should be. And so some of the Israelites decide to use this as an excuse for self-enrichment. And God brings harsh judgment down on them and harsh judgment down on the people who seem to have allowed it to go unchecked. That harsh judgment includes God smiting some people. And a judging God is not something that is friendly and easy and nice to talk about. And it can read rather harshly if we don't especially read it within the context of what it was saying and what it was doing in the overall character of God. But there comes a time where the people are found for doing what they're doing, which is basically it takes a just war that they're waging on God's behalf, and they turned it into an unjust war where they're basically killing people for the treasures and the booty that they've got. That's what it amounts to when this family did this. And so God brings judgment and says that family doesn't have a right to live. It's a very harsh punishment, but it's one that God metes out. And so the valley where all of this occurred is named the Valley of Achor. Achor is a word that in Hebrew means trouble, disturbance. And this is troubling, and this is disturbing. But we're not to miss the gravity of the situation, because the greater expansive idea behind this is that fundamental idea that we don't take advantage of people. We don't hurt people. We don't certainly kill people for our own pleasure and our own benefit. Our purpose and goal in this life needs to be living to make things right with others before God. And if we'll dedicate ourselves to that, not only will God be more readily accepted by this world, but you and I will more readily walk in his will. Both of those are great lessons from the Valley of Achor, and both of those are your video thought for today.